All right, guys. 2 weeks ago, we had major drama on the channels between myself and Jeremy from Financial Education. Well, he and I just got off a 35-minute Zoom call. Here's what happened. Last week, I decided to email Jeremy. We had emailed him requesting that he does the challenge. He never responded. He said to us, you guys never emailed me, blah, blah, blah. Then I said that I'd heard that he was getting paid to promote stocks. We get an email back. He said, hey, this must have gone to my junk folder. Guys, you can say whatever you want, but do not say this. It's not true. So I took the liberty to write him a very long, and I hate to pat myself on the back here, a very nice email. Because even though I enjoy calling people out, he seemed like a nice guy in general. And I wanted to make sure that I expressed myself, that at first it didn't start as a personal attack on him. And then obviously he got a little personal. He said, yeah, I accused him of this, and he got personal, called me a trust fund baby, et cetera, et cetera. So I emailed him a long email. I said, listen, I don't agree with you. Here's the things. I talked about a lot of stuff in the email. He wrote back that evening, very nice, long email. He said, hey, I appreciate you writing out. So I said, listen, let's get in a chat. Let's FaceTime. Let's talk somehow, and let's discuss this whole matter. So literally, I just finished the call 7 minutes ago, told him on the call. So the first thing I want to say is, he told me in no uncertain terms, he said he swore on his family and everything he loved that he's never taken a dollar to pump any stock. And I take him at his word. He seems like he's being honest about that completely. He doesn't seem like a dishonest person to me. I'm not trying to judge anything about character. I'm just saying, when somebody looks me in the face and says, I've never taken a dollar, I swear on my family, I was like, okay. I even said to him, Jeremy, I wrote in the email to him, I will make a response video in which I take that back if you tell me that you didn't do it. And on the chat, he said, Paul, I've never taken a dollar to pump a stock, ever. Okay, great. Love it. So my apologies there. But going forward, here's what I want to take. He wanted to talk about his process, and I talked about my process. I'm not going to lie, guys. He's a lot more value-oriented than he portrays on the channel. If everything he was saying to me on the phone call was true, he said things that made a lot of sense that I agree with a lot of. The issue, but he kept differentiating value with growth. And that's where I said to him, I kept interrupting him, said, Jeremy, there's no difference between value and growth. It's just that value doesn't overpay for the growth. That's it. And that's where we see a little bit different. He's also convinced that the average investor who just buys all crap stocks is gone from the market. I don't agree with that. He said, in my opinion, they're gone from the market and it's now serious investors. I don't agree with that. I still think we have a long way to go. I think he likes picking stocks. He likes the value side of things, but he wants to buy companies that have a lot more growth potential than boring companies. But he does have boring companies in portfolios, he told me. He told me some companies he has, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now, do I think he's the level of value that I am? No. Do I think he's some sort of, I think there's inklings there. But you gotta remember another thing, and this is not meant to attack Jeremy. So if Jeremy's watching this is not attacking you. I don't make a career off YouTube. I have 9 businesses upstairs that I make a career off of. I can literally stay and do whatever I want here. Not to say that Jeremy is doing things for money. By no means am I just saying that. What I'm saying, though, is there is a career aspect that he has to follow. He has to look at the YouTube community and see what they're looking for and comment on them. He told me about some times where he felt he was forced to make a comment. It didn't happen. He was blasted for it, and it sucked, and he hated it. That's what makes investing difficult, guys. That's why I wanted to bring this story up. Investing is difficult because of exactly what Jeremy just said. He felt the pressure from people to say something that he might not necessarily have believed in because they were insisting. But you ask me a question, you can ask me till I'm blue in the face. I don't know. I don't care. You don't like it? Unsubscribe. I don't care. And that's a big difference. Now, based on what I heard from him in the call, Jeremy's got, okay, like even I said some of the things to Mo that Jeremy said. He's like, oh, I mean, even Mo was surprised going, holy cow, he said those things. I'm like, yeah, he sounds like me back in the day when I was starting to shift my views away from just focusing on growth and only growth and not caring. And he says to me, he's like, oh, I look at this company, and he gave me an example. I was like, okay, your logic makes sense. Your logic does make sense. The question to ask ourselves now is, what's going to happen from here. Now, he does understand that buying money-losing companies is very, very difficult. And I'm glad he said that. He didn't make it seem like it was like, oh, you just got to... I like that he said that. He said to me that when he first heard about Warren Buffett on CNBC in 08 and 09, he said, this guy makes sense to him. Again, I've heard that before. Tom Nash, who, Jeremy and I have a mutual disdain for. Mine was first, though. So I grabbed dibs on hating Tom Nash first. He says that, I look at Tom Nash, and Tom Nash, he's blue in the face, says he's a value investor, and literally nothing he has ever said tells me he's a value investor. With Jeremy, I hear the things he said in this private call and go, okay, I'm not saying he's a value investor, but he's way more value than he lets on in some of his videos. And I like that. But at the end of the day, I see what happens with our channel. Guys, don't think, even though I'm not married to this channel financially, I still look at the data. And I will tell you, when the market's bad, our views go up. Our subscribers go up. When the market's good, we tend to have less views and less subscriber growth. Why? Because we have an explanation for how you should view bad times. And my guess is over the next few years, we will do quite well in our user growth because we think the next few years are going to be a lot harder than they were in the last 5 years. So the recap of this is, Jeremy and I had a great conversation. By no means are we BFFs. We're not, but it's a starting point. And I don't do collabs. Who knows what the future holds? I don't like collabs right now, but I'm glad we were able to get in the call and have a very respectful and good conversation. It was actually not even... It started with zero animosity. We started joking, laughing. He had a kid, one of his kids in the background. The entire time was very amicable and very nice. And you would have thought that we were meeting for a job interview because of how nice we were to each other. It wasn't anything bad. And I left there going, and I even told Mo some of the things he said. And Mo said, like, oh man, that guy sounds like he's a nice guy. I'm like, yeah, he's a nice guy. And so anyways, that's where I stand on it. So Jeremy knows, minutes after I told him I was gonna make the video, I'm making the video. He swears on everything he loves that he never has taken money to pump a stock. And I take him for his word. So thank you very much. For those of you who love the drama, you know me, there'll be more drama in the future. So stick around.